This is Untitled Air Base in Thailand. We've been operating B-52s from here since April of 1967. It's not a glamorous job. The crews take off on a scheduled time. They fly relatively straight and level and deliver the ordnance. And then they fly back to prepare the aircraft for the mission tomorrow. The men in these machines are real pros who carry briefcases with them. They follow checklists and operate as a team, producing very positive results.
Okay, again, we'll be clearing right here.
Right, sir. A little more air for the chute right side. You're clear right tail.
Of course, the crews understand what the mission is. The maintenance guys understand what the mission is. They're operating in a combat environment, so they're highly motivated. However, it takes more than that to convince the individual that the job that he's doing has to be done professionally, and it's real important to the national security of the United States. So people coming into theater are often very amazed at how we employ junior officers and junior airmen here. We give our junior people the authority and the responsibility and turn them loose. What little guidance they require, why, of course, we give it to them. But in most cases, the individual is so well motivated and so well trained out. We put them in a specific job here, and because of the standardization procedure that we employ in SAC, the individual can fall right into the pattern with no additional training. That's Captain Dietrich's aircraft parking right now. His crew is typical of the men who've been flying out here. After they unload, they go in for the operational debriefing.
Oh, here you go, bud. Winter's breeze, I guess.
George Dietrich, captain. Pilot or aircraft commander in official language. The only bachelor on the crew. 30 years old. 10 years in the Air Force. Comes from Concannock, Pennsylvania. The number 2 man is Dick Stone. He's married and has a 2-year-old son. 6 years in the Air Force, all in SAC.
3 hours and a half. From Paradise short mission. 3.5. 3.5 hours. Okay. Fuel curve straight on, all the way down the line. Front racetrack here.
Not really. Station 16.1.
Bob Watson is a radar navigator. We used to call it bombardier. Commissioned through aviation cadet 6 years ago. Wife's name is Mary. They have a daughter about a year old. This is the navigator, First Lieutenant Stephen Selig. He's 25. Comes from Laconia, New Hampshire. No children yet. He has a degree in history from Syracuse.
How about
Ken Newman is the electronic warfare officer. He operates the jammers. He used to be an electronic technician in civilian life. Has 2 children, both girls.
all these cameras working?
Yeah, very good.
Both on the B-scope?
Staff Sergeant A.B. Johnson. At 32, he's the old man on the crew. Majored in veterinary medicine at Tuskegee. Used to be a curator of reptiles at the Miami Serpentorium. It's very important that we recognize how the crew members and the individuals feel, and I think I've got a reasonably good feel on what the reaction of most of the individuals are to our participation in this conflict over here.
You couldn't ask for a better artillery than the B-52.
You can never see a bomb going up, but you can see the smoke and dust coming up through the top of the foliage. And right about the middle of the bomb train comes this great big white billowy cloud, and it just comes streaming up. It's about 4 times the size of everything else.
And the things will go off underneath the foliage, and you'll never even see the explosion.
It looked like the whole target area looked like a dead rat shaking the water. Just sat there, just trembled. Yeah. And you could see the bombs walking out the other side of it again. There was no fire or smoke associated with it, and would have to be something buried that didn't come to the surface.
That's where the real satisfaction comes from, though, on these missions, is where you go out and you can see the ground and you get secondary.
And we very seldom hear what happens on some of these, this Operation Grass Hill or a couple of other big drives that they pulled on.
How much did we actually contribute to the operation of being made?
You kind of, like you see, you're in it, but you're removed.
I think once after you gain the confidence of the people in the wing, it's a very simple matter to be able to talk to these individuals, whether the flight crews, staff officers, particularly the maintenance and support guys. They're typical American guys. They're highly motivated, have the drive and desire to be professionals.
Hey, Vince, you guys get a break here in about a couple weeks. You're out here asleep all the way home. Hey, 18 hours. Hey, 26 hours of jammer coming up. Hey, come on in. Have a beer with George. Have a ham.
Hey, you guys got a day off or something today?
Yeah.
On a mission since noon.
Since high noon, we've got the day off.
You haven't been on a schedule for a week.
The reason I haven't been on the schedule, last week I've been over at Sac Advon in Saigon, and they took me through MAC-V, where they do all the mission planning, lay on the target. Boy, I can tell you, there's some pretty good thinking behind it.
And I think the best thing we could do here is perhaps go over to MAC-V, talk with Brigadier General Chasen. He's the man in charge of MAC-V target assignments, and he can give us the full picture. He'll give you an idea on how the targets are selected and why sometimes it's necessary, even at the last minute, to make a change in our target.
Well, the targets that we request be struck are selected from two sources. One source is the tactical commanders in the field, and they select targets in direct support of their operations, just as they would select a tactical air target or a deep artillery target. I would say this accounts for the majority of the targets that we have nominated for strike. Then there's another source of targets that come from the intelligence analysts, both in the field commands and here at this level. And they're primarily analyzing targets of enemy supply lines, our enemy supply caches, our enemy base areas. And then on a daily basis, the targets from these two sources come into this headquarters, and they're analyzed here in the Combat Operations Center. I think as long as you keep in mind that when we're talking about B-52 strikes, we're talking about pre-planned type of strikes. We're not talking about something that we want to hit with haste, because we're talking about such big payloads, and we're bringing them in so close to the troops. The use that we're making of the B-52 out here is as another tactical support weapon on the immediate battlefield. And in that capacity, I think it's been extremely effective. This is both based on my observation and what I'm sure you will find in discussing the subject with the tactical commanders. We find that the greatest effectiveness of the B-52 is this big payload. This is a very fine thing to be able to put on a target that has some impact upon your operation when you're a tactical commander. Also, we like the fact that it can be delivered around the clock, regardless of weather, with the same general accuracy in all conditions. it can be delivered with a great deal of what we call shock effect upon the enemy, because there's really no signal that the attack is coming. And as we've recently experienced in some of our strikes in the Quezon area, we know we can bring them in quite close to our own friendly troops. I think an interesting story on troop reaction came out of Quezon here. It was the first day that we brought one of the B-52 strikes in real close to the Marine position. And one would have thought the Marines would have been probably down in their dugouts staying out of the way. But the story is that they were all standing up on top of the bunkers, cheering as the B-52s were being delivered outside of their position. I think this attests to the fact that they're very pleased with the effectiveness. And I'd suggest that if you're wanting to get some more on this, that you should go out and talk to some of the troop commanders and some of the troops themselves. And I think you'd get a very clear insight as to the effectiveness of this weapons.
General Pierce, as commander of the 1st Field Force, what has been your association?
Well, my job primarily with the B-52 is to establish a priority. First thing on this that you have to recognize is that a B-52 strike is a priceless commodity. And we have many, many more targets, and we have B-52 strikes available, so as a consequence, we have to set these up as a matter of priority in order that we can put proper weight on the proper target.
How do the troops in the field feel about the B-52?
Oh, Lord. The troops, of course, this is one of the big things, aside from the physical destruction, is the fact that it is a tremendous morale boost for our own troops. They get these things, they know they're confronting, let's say, an infantry regiment, and they get this arc light strike, the B-52 strike out there, and they know that this is going to take quite a bit of the pressure off them. So you can say on the one hand that it's decidedly good for the morale of our own forces, but I think what is equally as important is the fact that in all the prisoners and the Hoichans that we've interrogated, we ask them, what are the things that you dislike most, or what are the things that you fear most? And you find that they come out, generally speaking, with pretty pat answers. They don't like the B-52 strikes. They don't like TAC air. They don't like the gunships, the helicopter gunships, and they don't like artillery. Get on down and talk to the combat unit, talk to one of these platoons in the front line and ask one of those people how they feel about it.
I'd like to have them change their minimum distance on it, and their maximum distance for I believe it ought to be enclosed. Ought to be able to come in closer to the troops, especially if they're on high ground, especially the area we just came from. It really gives me and the people a feeling of security when you do hear them, and you know if you're going to move into that area, you're not going to run into anything.
Great feeling to be sitting there watching them bombs hit the ground.
We did see arc lights going off on the other side of the ridge, about 7 or 8 clicks away.
Yeah. Off in the distance, you could hear it constant boom, 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 boom. You know, everybody just kind of smile, you know. Just like with a feeling of security is with any plane, any kind of plane, sky rated, but a B-52 is like the biggest feeling of security. Really appreciate them coming in. It's a morale booster for everybody.
I know about the most secure feeling I've had in Vietnam so far was one morning. We got up about 7:30, 8 o'clock, where there was about 15 or 18 B-52s coming. It was a beautiful sight. It was damn near as good as a mail call. Morale factor in it.
Real good. When you have been out there, you really begin to get an appreciation of what we're doing out here. Well, I got an early mission in the morning, so I think I'm going to take off. It's time. Okay. Let's get the bus. I'll see you up there. All right. Okay.
We've had many, many cases here where people were ill back home, perhaps, and we've permitted them to call back and chat with their wives or their mothers, as the case might be. This way, they're reassured that everything is A-OK back there, and this puts the individual in a position where he can perform well. He has nothing on his mind. Of course, there's nothing more dangerous than a guy working on an airplane with some concern over some problem back home. It's extremely dangerous. We recognize and we work real hard that these lads will highlight their problems to us, and they do.
Okay, well, let's go.
Control, it's 10.
Go ahead, son.
Roger, Control. 100 is out of the ball game. My hip pocket spare is 604. Give me a reading, please.
Roger. We'll take aircraft 604. How's the refuel coming?
You break right. Outload. Okay.
Roger, Control. Refuel should be complete on 604 at 2100. Be ready for Mickey Mouse at 2130.
I'll have MMS out there at that time. Roger, this is turning around aircraft now.
When you consider it takes 400 to 500 man-hours to regenerate an airplane once he returns from a mission, I think the people become more aware of the fact that the only way you can do this is through a good coordinated team effort, because each individual has played a very important part in getting that airplane off the ground. We have a very sophisticated radar bombing navigation system, so weather has absolutely no bearing on our capability to bomb. We can pinpoint bomb through overcast conditions, under any weather conditions.
Gentlemen, in 10 seconds, the time will be 0300 local, 2000 Zulu. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, hack.
Colonel Vickery, gentlemen, Captain Wright briefing the Able 88 mission. The classification of this briefing is secret. The airborne commander is Colonel Moore. The room is secure.
The takeoff time for the first cell is 0500 local. Roll call.
Major Lund. Captain Dietrich. Major Brooks.
Takeoff time for the second cell is 0520 local. Roll call. Captain Dilworth. Major Eldridge. Major Lee. Climb out on the standard departure route. Level off at Point Bravo. Proceed to Point Charlie. To Point Delta. And at Point Delta, start climb to flight level 360. Proceed to Point Echo, to the IP. Open your bomb doors 30 seconds prior to release on your primary target X-ray 26. After your release, break right to Point Foxtrot and proceed to the alternate IP. For a release on the alternate target, open your bomb doors 30 seconds prior to release on X-ray 30. Proceed to Point Golf and join the return route to Utapao. Lieutenant Nichols for weather.
Good morning, gentlemen. Good takeoff weather at Utapao. 3/8 strata Q at 2,000 feet. Some cirrus strat at 30,000 feet. Visibility greater than 6 miles. Surface winds from the south at 10 knots. Temperature 83, pressure altitude plus 60. Altimeter setting 29091. We got
a top pad leaking on the JC-12. No condition with them at control changing. Can you get one ordered for us?
Okay, I'll get one on order. Start taking that one down right away.
Roger, Control. We have a JFC 12 change on 604.
Order has been ordered by OMS 12. Control number 081.
Sergeant Lemons for intelligence.
Your primary target is against the Quezon area where there is a large confirmed troop concentration buildup and storage area. Down to the south, your alternate target is against troop concentrations between Pleiku and Kantum. Also confirmed that a large Viet Cong force is moving in from Laos. Intelligence, ground action for yesterday in the 1st Corps, the target area.
Depressurize.
Control, OM-10. Roger, control, 604 is NNN across the board. Complete at 0250.
Roger. Suppose you're going home now. Have a cool one for me.
Roger, control. I'm strictly a Kool-Aid man. Thank you.
Are there any questions on the mission as briefed? Would you rise, please, for Chaplain Clarahan?
Let us pray. Almighty God, our Father, bless these crews, the leaders they follow, the men who support them. Help them to be the men you want them to be. Keep them safe from all harm, and let what they do today bring a better tomorrow. Bless their families and loved ones. Give to them the same peace and security that these men try to bring to the world today. Amen.
That's good, man.
The specific model of B-52 that we're using in this theater is the B-52D. It's the only B-52 in the SAC force that has had the big belly modification. The airplane was not originally designed to carry iron bombs, so to achieve this end, this modification was necessary. As far as general characteristics of the bird are concerned, it's about at 180 feet from wingtip to wingtip, 156 feet long, and our operating gross weights out of Thailand are in the neighborhood of 400,000 pounds.
Weapons are loaded. Ammo, letter, camera. Yeah, all the vehicle. Bunch of information.
Radios? You're on, pilot? On, co-pilot. Warning and indicator lights.
3101, taxi runway 36, wind 330 degrees at 6, altitude 2900, enter 0.
Air press to test, pilot. Warning indicator lights, press test, co-pilot. Power all switches. Engine check, pilot. Engine check, co-pilot. All switches on. Navigation lights are bright and flash. Ground connected, clear the bomb doors.
Bomb doors connected, clear, sir.
Validating your frequency. Frequency improved. And fuel quantities next.
Mariner, check co-pilot. The altimeter is 2990. Elevation here, 50 feet.
Okay, pilot 2990, I have a correction of +1.
2990, zero correction, co-pilot.
Here, give these to Johnny. Will.
Okay, and that when the taxi across Hotel 3 busted the refueling pit lid.
45 seconds. 30 seconds. Okay, we should have 1.5 left set. 20 seconds. Downswing crab is checked and down. 15 seconds. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Ram. Your plane external sticker. I have it. Take off the light. Coming up 70 knots. Now, back. Seconds. Ready, now. Ready. Belly up on stick now. Brakes. On. Pulling my gear. Raise it. Pulling up.
Stand by release on this gear hat.
8.5 seconds. Right now, 059.
059.
On track at this time, looking good. Co-pilot, this is pilot.
Yes, pilot, go ahead.
Okay, how's the temperature over there? What's it running?
Right now, it feels pretty warm. It's 9 turn back at 1. Next setting be 090 in 1 minute.
I understand, 090.
Roger, pilot.
This 3 is coming out pretty good.
Roger. 090 at this time.
Turning 090.
Lead has Mr. Skill there.
Roger, radar.
And EW, this is Point Whiskey, SCM.
Roger, copy SCM at this time. Pilot nav.
Roger, nav.
Coming up the bomb run, heading to 281.
281, you want that heading now?
Roger.
Okay, turning 281.
Roger, pilot. EW, co-pilot's picking up any signals? Roger, co-pilot. Just a normal acquisition signals. No threats at this time. Radar ready for bomb run checklist. Roger, stand by. Roger, BNS true heading A1, compass mag heading cross check.
Cross check.
BNS altitude.
Set.
Nav mode select switch.
As briefed.
Roger. Crosshairs aiming point.
Stand by 1. Aiming point. Stand by 1.
Roger.
No, not sitting.
Roger.
Checking. Number 1.
Looks good.
Looks good. Go mic 2.
Roger.
Okay, set.
Roger, offset switches as desired.
As desired.
Your primary control function switch, bomb.
Bomb.
Pilot, what direction is PDI pointing?
It's about 6 left.
Radio center, please.
Centering PDI.
Primary control function switch, bomb.
Going bomb now. In bomb.
Roger. Release configuration check. You ready for it?
Roger, go ahead.
Roger, release circuit disconnect.
Connected, light on.
Bomb indicator light switch.
It's on.
PDI center.
Roger, pilot. Racks loaded light switch.
On.
Master bomb control switch.
It's on.
Release power switch.
It's on.
Bomb door control valve lights are off.
Roger, checked off.
Bombing system switch manual.
Manual.
Bomb doors open to 30 TG. Coming up on 30 TG.
30 TG.
Roger.
Engineer coming up.
Roger.
Doors checked open.
Roger, that completes the checklist. Ready, now.
Doors open.
Roger, standing by release.
PDI center.
Roger.
Coming up my southbound, 060 now. 060. 1. Southbound and counting 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I got the time going. 8.5 is what we want. Stand by to release. Ready, now.
Bombs running.
Peacock is a flight.
Stand by EAR. Ready, now.
EAR.
Stand by for brake pilot.
Standing by.
Brake right. Ready, now.
Okay, we'll roll into a right turn now. And I'll be holding it for maybe 10 seconds. Cleared right front, good.
Right, so you clear right tail.
Braking right.
090 heading pilot.
Roger.
Stand by for impact. Impact time, ready, now. Let's get post-bomb release. Emergency bomb door open switch.
Off.
Bomb doors.
Closed.
Master bomb control switch.
Off.
Train display mode, select a switch.
SB.
Train computer power switch.
SB.
Access switch.
On.
Altitude disable switch.
Normal.
Nav mode select switch.
As desired.
Radar camera switches.
As required.
Vertical camera doors.
Closed.
Landing gear standby pumps off. Pilot and applicable hydraulic packs shut down.
They're off and checking.
Monitoring system select switch. Standby. Internal brick.
Trainer 0.
External brick.
Trainer 0.
Release circuit disconnect. I'll get. Disconnected light off. Release power switch.
Off.
Arming switch.
Say.
Bomb bay walkway lights. Circuit breakers.
RF.
Optional bombing switch.
Normal.
Completes checklist.
Roger. Completed.
Yellow Anchor 6 for this is about departure control. Radar contact. Report level at 7,000. What's fuel quantity main Jericho?
We've got plenty of gas and we're right on the fuel curve here about 5 minutes ago.
On course, on glide path. 1 mile from touchdown. Heading 180. Precision minimum altitude. Is 30 feet below glide path. Over approach line.
Roger. Transports here. We cleared in. The crews come over into this part of the world quite frequently. 6 months at a stretch. And in many cases, the crews find themselves back home for a very short period of time and they're back again for another 6-month period. operating out of Guam, it's very confining. There's very little for the crews to do there. So when they have an opportunity to come to Utapao, they're very happy to come over here. So we make every effort in the world to schedule him in such a manner so that each crew during his 18-day cycle has an opportunity to spend perhaps at least 2 days in the Bangkok area. I think it's very educational, and I think because of the professionalism that these individuals display on and off the job, it's very healthy for them to become exposed to the Thai people. They have a better understanding of our people, the way we conduct business, the way we conduct ourselves in the Thai community. Many, many crew members work very hard toward establishing better base community relations. I've seen this happen here in the local area so many, many times. We've received so many congratulatory messages, letters, and things of this nature from Thai dignitaries, Thai families, indicating how pleased they were to be able to get to know SAC crew members and have the SAC crew members spend some time in their homes at their table. It's very enlightening.
That's one of the jazz buses in town.
Got a minute to go.
Boy, they got everything. That's
Everything.
That's ETA, Charlie Hotel. Charlie Hotel at 4-2. Go back on there. Roger.
The aircraft had been recycled, and another mission is launched. Perhaps the crews feel a bit more fulfillment, since they know what their efforts achieve. Even though professionally speaking, it's just another mission. They are professionals, highly trained and qualified in their specialties. It is also a fact that they are men doing a good job. The reasons are diverse. However, they all have one thing in common. They're here because their country needs them.